Not complaining, because I am literally living my dream.
Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, then hi, my name is Amy, and this is Let's Discuss, where we're chatting about everything and anything that's really interesting me in the mummy vlogger family channel circle here on YouTube. So yeah, if you're really interested in that as well, please remember to subscribe. I post content quite regularly. Number two, for anyone who's interested or returning or whatever, I'm sorry I feel like a little bit of a mess. Yeah, I came down with the big C, like self-isolating and that. So yeah, because of that, my voice might sound a little bit croaky, but it's fine. We're just going to push on with it anyway. I'm feeling so much better today, which is just great. I'm hoping that it will leave, and anyone else who also has it at the minute as well, please let me know. I'm thinking of all of you, and I hope you guys make a really speedy recovery as well. I'm bringing this video out quite soon, actually, after first finding out about the MCFIVE Family Circus. I'm going to call them, they're called the MCFIVE Circus, but the MCFIVE Family Circus is what kind of, you know, kind of flows off the tip of my tongue a little bit better.
It doesn't even make sense. How am I supposed to tell Kelly what's going on?
Tell Kelly what?
What they were saying.
Funny.
We just got the call outside, and they're.
And I just want to say, oh wow, like, oh my goodness gracious me, if you are looking for a problematic family channel that not only, you know, record the kids' tantrums, breakdowns, kind of baits their kids a little bit,
You gotta buckle up.
is bored, you know, acting. They do a lot of, you know, like fake storylines and stuff, which their audience fully eats up. They are just like, they're just mad. I hate using that word, but they are seriously problematic, and I don't know whether or not their audience is just filled up with kids or whatever, but you go and look on the comment section, and by the looks of it, looks like extremely young audience. Basically it's compromised. Basically it's comprised of 2 adults, the mum and the dad, and then the 3 kids. And they basically, the only thing that I will say that is positive or in any way cool about this family is that they do like aerial circus, you know, where you do like the long sort of ribbony things, and you're doing those like aerial twists and turns and stuff, and that is awesome. And I believe that the mum, Kelly, she's always been a certified aerial instructor, of what it literally says on their description page. No one else has covered them from what I've seen. I might be completely wrong, but I've tried to look for other channels that have covered it just so I can have a bit more context. There are no subreddits on them. There's no real information apart from what you see on their Instagram, I think on their TikTok as well. Our circus family is Kelly, the mum, and then the 3 kids, and Helmet Guy, who's the dad. I don't even know like where to even start off with this family. Like, it's really bad, like, and it's quite rare for me to ever really stumble across like a family channel nowadays where I go like, oh my gosh, like these guys really do take the cake. But the more I started like finding out about all these different family channels that I didn't even know existed, there's just so many more out there that no one talks about that are just awful, like really bad. Just gonna some notes which I have made about this family. This is not everything about this family, because I was actually alerted to them I think about 2 days ago, and like I say, because I've basically just been lying in bed, had a bit of time to do some watching, but like I say, there's nothing else that's really about this family. Like, no one's really done anything apart from what I see on YouTube. So I'm gonna read out some notes, but I'm going to read out some things that I found, and then I'll of course insert some clips where I can. The very first thing off of the bat is that they basically record their children having like mental breakdowns, and the one child that they do particularly target, and I will say target because it does seem that there's one girl in particular, I'm not going to be like naming names or anything. The only thing I will say is that they decide to call their child it. and something just doesn't sit right. And I'm not just saying, oh, it's a one-off thing. In every single, they make extremely short videos nowadays that are between like 3 and 6 minute or 8 minute long. And in most of the thumbnails, it is of this child looking really sad or traumatized, or like having like a, you know, it's usually of this child and it's always titled It. So it's like it is having a bad day and stuff. And I'm just like, what? And the mum basically made this video explaining a little bit about it, although she didn't really explain why she calls her child It. And just from an outsider's point of view, I think that that is such a like, I think it's just horrible. Like, I no. It's just not, this is something you shouldn't call a child. Like, I don't even, basically, right, I watched this video and she was explaining how I'm not gonna call this child It. Like, I'm sorry, like I physically can't. I can't call any child It, so I'm not gonna call this child It. I'm gonna say this little girl because she's not called It. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if there's a secretive meaning behind it. Although I did watch her explanation video, and I'm gonna explain to you how there was still no explanation given.
Just want to say as well that the mum has actually done a couple or maybe 3 more videos in the title where it's actually said why I call my child It, where she still doesn't explain why she calls her child It. And it just makes me think that she is just doing this just to garner attention. I don't know, it's so bizarre. Why would you call your child It? And B, why are you making thumbnails and titles which say you're going to explain, but then you don't actually ever explain? And sometimes the video isn't even anything to do with that. It honestly makes no sense.
Kelly made this video quite recently actually, saying that this little girl has, I think it's like a sensory issue or something like that, and has anxiety. This little girl making pancakes, and the mum goes on to say how they thought that they had a perfect baby, but then they realised that this little girl actually has, you know, additional, I'll say like additional needs. I think the mum says special needs. Says, oh, but we thought we had a perfect baby, which is then going on to imply that their child is now not perfect. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, something like that didn't really quite sit right with me, but because I don't have a child, like, no, actually no, it doesn't really sit right with me at all. And in all of their thumbnails, they just refer to their child as It, and it just makes me so unbelievably sad. This particular child is having an extremely bad day, or gets, in Kelly's words, ragey. Sorry, it's my C brain at the minute, but this next clip I'm about to show you, the child which she refers to as ragey, is the other daughter. I say both those girls look really quite similar, and it's quite hard to tell them apart at times. About things, i.e. is getting quite worked up and upset about things. Instead of her comforting her child, she decides to get out her camera and record these things. The child who I'm referring to was getting very, very upset about something, and the mum was just recording it, and the mum was like, what's wrong, but had the phone out the whole entire time. And then it then transpires that actually, you know, and the mum and the daughter were like laughing about this girl getting quite upset. It wasn't very nice to view, and I don't understand why it's online, or why the mum thought it was then okay to record. It's horrible to view actually. And transpires that actually the girl had a really bad day at school and was being bullied, and instead, once again, the mum decided to document and film that whole process, which just not only felt like a real bad invasion of privacy, but you should be comforting your child in that situation, not deciding to whip out the camera. I mean, I just can't imagine ever doing that to my children. If my children are having a bad day, the only thing I'm thinking about at that moment is them. I don't understand the family vlogger mentality with that at all. It's really, really, really sad. Like, I just don't understand why this is even allowed on the platform. There was this whole sort of storyline, and I say it's a storyline because the acting, yeah, they might be good circus aerial people, but I'm telling you right now, their acting, especially the mums, Kelly, you need to get better at acting, because honestly, it was the worst thing I've ever seen, ever. Sorry for being harsh, but you're harsh to your kids. And so I'm going to be harsh to you. Your acting is awful. Okay, I'll show you a clip. Supposedly they like didn't get the house, and the mum like rushes into the bathroom and is like upset, and I'm just like, no tear can be seen there, no tear can be found. Where is the tear? It's not there. Google maps me the tear. It ain't there. Okay.
What's wrong?
And the thing is that they decide, so the dad was getting quite shouty, and there's a bit of a theme with the dad as well. The dad tends to get really like shouty and whatever, like leery about various different things. They decided to then go and tell their kids that they didn't get the house, when actually this whole thing was very obviously pre-planned. And whether or not the actual house saga is true or not, because honestly I really don't care, the whole deciding to tell their kids and bit before they told the kids was just pure acting. And they then went to their children and decided to video their reaction. And when you then have a child who, as she says, has additional needs, you going and doing that sort of stuff and putting them on the spot like that, trying to get a reaction out of them, because that is what you're trying to do. Not only were they trying to get a reaction out of them, but they also used their child looking sad in the thumbnail, and that is a theme that they do again and again and again. They basically have these really clickbaity titles. They go and they get a still and get a picture of their child looking ultra sad, and then they then use it in the thumbnail. And it's just so unbelievably confusing and disgusting and gross. So gross. So gross. Like when and if the laws come in, putting like clamps on the amount of exposure your kids can have online, this family is going to be one of the very first to go, because honestly it is disgusting. Also, there's like one clip as well that they basically like, they will literally use anything for content. I came across this one clip with them going away. I think they were like going on a road trip or somewhere, and the mum was sat in the front seat, yeah, and she was basically like video recording. I think it was the eldest child. I'm really not sure. The two girls actually do look quite similar. So sometimes if I'm just watching a recording, it's not always quite easy for me to tell like which one is which, because they do actually look quite similar. She was just recording her child standing up in the back of the car with the seatbelt off when they were driving at like full speed, just running around in the back seat, like full on standing up in the back seat. And I'm just wondering, like, and then you then read the comments, and I'm not joking, on every single thing that I have just mentioned, you go onto the comments on any of the videos and it's just flooded with support. And I don't understand it. You think about most of the other people that I cover, yeah? Most of the people that I cover have negativity in the comments, and they have people calling them out. And some of the stuff that I've just mentioned is comparatively worse in different ways than some of the other people that I talk about. Yet they literally do not get a single negative comment, and I cannot for the life of me work it out. I cannot work it out. But this family are just, you know, they could very well have just stuck to the whole circus trick act. I'm not quite sure why they then have to drag their children into it, dragging their, you know, additional needs into it, dragging in their tantrums, dragging in the fact that they're being bullied and stuff. But they then also call this one child an it and a creature. Just it's not nice. I mean, it's beyond not nice. I could say a lot worse things about it, but I'm gonna leave that up to you guys in the comment section, and go check it out and go see what I'm talking about, because I had no idea this family even existed. I've got no idea quite a lot of families exist. It's actually quite interesting just to see how many channels you were not even aware of. But there are so many channels like this out there that just slip underneath the radar, and it's just so questionable. Not nice to view. It shouldn't be put online. It should really be reported, to be honest with you. yeah, it's not nice. But yeah, sorry, I need to stop because honestly my voice, you can hear it, is starting to get more and more and more chesty. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be coming out with a new video tomorrow as well. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.